Welcome everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend so far. And yeah, anyway, today I am working with the grinder, with the Oregon style bench grinder. Mine's a 410. It's just a base model, kind of whatever. It's 410. And I'm working on the square jig from Ed. Square cutter, squarejig.com. Go check it out. This is the device. Now this video is about square grinding. It's not about round grinding. It's about square grinding. Okay? I may touch on round here and there. I have never round ground with this grinder. I've never round ground anything ever. Okay? So this is about square grinding chain with an Oregon grinder and the square jig setup from Ed from Square Cutter. Okay? Just, I want to specify that, and I will reinforce that. This is not round grinding. This is square grinding with this jig, with this Oregon grinder. Okay? I have it on a stand. It's not on a bench. It's on a stand. I got the Oregon stand. They're way sturdier than I thought they were going to be. And for this application, primo. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get to using it. But first, I want to show people that are interested in this stuff how this works. The setup, what gives you your angles on your tooth, how to change them, and how to set up for each side of the chain. Okay? And what the angles on the wheel do. Okay? I'm going to be demonstrating setting this up with the new CBN wheel that Ed is putting out. Okay? Once again, this is square grinding, not round. This is square grinding. Like I said, I will reinforce it throughout the video. So there's no confusion right here from the beginning of the video, from the get-go. Square grinding with the square jig with an Oregon grinder. And I'll talk about Techomet grinders as well. Differences that I've seen in those as opposed to this Oregon grinder. Okay? Thank you very much. Enjoy the video, and be sure to leave in the comments if there's something else that you would like to know about, or contact me through my email or Facebook or however else you want to make contact, and we'll chat about it. Okay? I want Ed to do well with this. I want this to go crazy for Ed. All right? So let's get to it. All right, so in order to square grind with this Oregon grinder, you'll need that jig from Ed, and you will need this wheel. You'll need this wheel. It doesn't have to be this exact wheel, but look here at the size of the wheel. It's 5 3/4 diameter, 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch, okay, and 7/8 hub. The Techomet also have a 7/8 hub, and the Oregons have a 7/8 hub. So that's the size of the wheel you need for square grind. Okay? When you get your Oregon grinder, if you buy it brand new, it will come with 3 wheels. A thick one for doing rakers, and it will come with a 3/16 width. This is the width you're after here. Okay? It'll come with the 3/16, and it will come with this 1/8 inch wheel. You want the 1/8 inch wheel. If you read the directions on your Oregon grinder, it doesn't talk anything about square grinding, okay? It talks about, it gives you the setup for round grind on different sizes of chain. And for 3/8 chain, it will tell you to use the 3/16 wheel. That is for round grind. The 1/8 inch is what is needed for this square jig setup. 1/8 inch thickness here. That's key to this grinder. Okay? Okay, here's my grinder. This is the stand, straight up and down pole, okay? But this is the grinder that I have. This grinder has, you can turn it this way, you can tilt it. It does not slide in straight, flat in and flat out. It doesn't do that. The 510 or 520, one of those Oregon grinders does both. And it is the grinder. If you want to get into this setup, that would be a good grinder to start out with. This works amazing. They all work amazing. This and the Tecomec of this style. The Tecomec that Ed uses slides in flat and slides out flat. It does not tilt. Okay? It does not tilt. The Tecomec. But this one tilts, and I'll show what that does as far as angles on the tooth from the wheel. Okay? But the 510, it tilts and it slides flat in and out. Like I said, we'll talk about why I think that is a great starter. It's a little bit more money, but it's a great starter, especially if you don't have the CBN wheel. And if you don't plan on getting the CBN wheel, the 510 is great because it, like I said, it slides flat in. So as the wheel gets smaller, as you wear it out, you can slide it in and keep up with the wheel, and you can keep the tilt and still have good angles on your tooth. Okay, so we're going to zoom in, and I'll show how this mounts in the rail. Like I said, square grinding, not round. Okay, so this goes in this rail, and I like to split the difference with the knob here, with this knob here, with this bottom piece. I like to split the difference, kind of centers it, right? Kind of centers it, and then you just take this and you tighten that down. Okay, now in order to get this, now that's set. Okay, that's just set. Now the rest of your adjustments come with loosening the knob on the back. This knob here, nice and knurled. Look at that quality. And then it just slides back and forth. Okay, so that's how you put it into the rail system. It's tightened, that part's done. Okay, now we'll back out. We're already out. Okay, so now the next thing is to set it up. Okay, to set this up for the side of the chain that you want to use, you use this knob right here. Okay, this knob right here, you loosen this knob, and that allows it to go like this, back and forth. Okay, this mark, this arrow, and these marks down here, this mark right here, it's like this is a half and this is a whole mark. Okay, when it's lined up with that and you tighten that down, the angle of your tooth is going to be about 30 to 35 degrees. Now when I say the angle of your tooth, I mean this. Focus. The angle of your top plate, this angle right here, is what is decided on how you turn this way. Okay, don't go by the marks. Don't go by the marks down here as far as degrees go. Okay, because we're talking about square grinding with this square jig. Okay, okay, now that you have it set up, one of the first things you do is this rivet here and this rivet here needs to be centered with this line right here. These need to be centered. Okay, so you just move it back and see that's off center, there, we're center. Okay, now this wheel comes down and contacts your tooth. And once you've got it set up to where you want turned to get the right angle of your top plate that you want, then you set this up like this, okay? Now, let's go over what each one of these angles does on the wheel, okay? As you can see, it is for square grind. Once again, center comes down and keeps you lined up with this line right here, because if you've ever seen a square ground chain factory, this is the line. This is the line that it goes by, not down here like round. Remember, square. So this center keeps it right here in the tooth. This angle over here is what starts the cut in the tooth down the face of the top plate and ends up in this corner. Okay, this angle over here, this angle right here, to where it angles from the center out and then up the side of it. Okay, so this is what that angle does for the tooth. Let's put that right in there for a second. What that creates is that line right there. That's what creates the working corner. And as you can see, this one isn't all the way down in there, right? It's not all the way down in it. This angle is also determined by the tilt, but this part of the wheel is what cuts this working corner down into the tooth. Okay, this might be a better example. See that angle? That is determined, the angle of that and the sharpness of that is determined here and with the tilt of the wheel. You can change that angle. You can make that angle come down this way more or less. This is the 45 that you get. You get 45 degrees here and you get 45 degrees here underneath the top plate. Right? This angle is determined by what jig you get. 40, 45, or 50. 50 is going to be more blunt than this. 40 is going to be sharper. More such as a razor. Okay? So now, I'll put this back on there. See how that goes in there? See where that rides. It's not there. It's there. Centered. Right? Bring that down. Different tooth. Okay, now to change that angle, you loosen this knob again. Okay, you loosen this knob. And you can tilt it like this. See that tilt? That changes the angle of that working corner. Okay? So you can get it sharper by the tilt. And that's why I talked about this one doesn't slide in and out flat. The 510 does. If you have this wheel, you don't really have to worry about it. That flat slide in and out. But if you have a regular wheel, right, that's going to wear out, it's fine out here. But as it gets, like if you wear this much out and you're up in here, you're going to need to follow that in to get more life out of your wheel, or you lose it. Okay. Now, if you go too far tilt, when you grind down, you're going to hit the strap. You'll hit the strap of the chain. Okay. And I'll take you around and I'll show you that. I'll try to get in on the tooth. Okay, see how that's touching the strap? Uh-oh. Okay. See how that's touching that strap right there? To avoid wearing out your wheel faster, then you just bring it up like that. Okay? Get it off of that. See the air? Did you see the air happen? Let's try it one more time. See how it's touching and pushing on the chain? It's touching on the strap. See the air get there? Right there. See that? Now, we're not touching the strap. And we've got good tilt, so we're going to get a good angle on that underside of that tooth. Your working corner. Okay, now we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about when you're transferring with this setup, when you're transferring a round filed or round ground chain and you want to transfer it over to square grind. Okay, see that? This is round, right? So if we want to do this properly, we've got to eliminate all of this. This is going to stay because we're working off of this line now, right? With square grind. So we have to eliminate this. So when you set it up, you want the wheel to come down, and the first thing that touches is this corner. Now this is how I do it when I transfer the chain over. Okay? I get it to where the wheel, when I pull it down, it touches right here. Okay? And then it will remove all of that material. Everything to the right of my pointer will be gone, because we have to get down into this tooth square. So that's round. From the side, this is square. That is square, correct? So you see what we have to eliminate as far as material to get it to go to square, correct? Seems like you lose a lot of tooth, but once you get it to square ground, then it's just touch-up work. Then you only have to go as deep as how far you smashed the tip off of the sharp working corner, right? For future grinding. Another difference is this. See the difference in the top plate angle? That's where your side-to-side swivel will work for whatever angle you want. This is steel chain. This is Oregon chain. Okay? Top plate angle is different. Correct? One's 30, one's 35. Right? Okay. I hope this is making sense to everyone that's interested in this. And if I skip something, if I miss something, like I said, get a hold of me and we will discuss it. Okay, now when I talk about pulling the wheel down, to get that, I'm talking about pulling it down here, okay? This tooth is already square ground. Okay, it's already square ground, but if I want it to touch right there. We'll look at it from this angle. We'll go around. Okay, now this is the round ground, stock factory round ground from Stihl, and you see that angle. You see the angle that I'm talking about? This angle right here. Remember? That's what starts to cut. So it's touching just inside that corner, the lower corner of that tooth. And if you can envision this coming straight down, straight this way, so it's going to end up about here, correct? And it will eliminate this round gullet, and it will stop here at this line on this center angle. Okay, let's grind one, should we? Okay, now we're grinding one, so I want you to see what each angle is doing. Okay, so you see this, see what's happening down here? That's turning that into square already. Okay, this is where we were. Okay, so that's turning that into square already, and it's creating the top plate angle here with the side of the wheel, right? And this is getting into the working corner. But this is, oh, this is from the center angle is what's creating this down here. Look at that beauty. Huh? And I took more off than I needed to. See your top plate angle? Still a little bit of a burr there. See the top plate angle? I don't go as steep as the mark. I don't do it when I hand file, and I don't do it when I square grind. But look at that. And that's what you can get with the square jig. And we'll run that. Still a little bit of a burr, but that's okay. The CBN wheel creates a little bit more burr than a standard wheel. And it creates, a standard wheel will create a more pronounced working corner up in there. Great design, Ed. Now, let's talk about the angle. Let's talk about the angle of your side plate. This is your side plate. See how that just lines up perfect right there? This is the angle of your side plate that I talk about, okay? Some people like a little bit more angle. I prefer about 2.5 degrees like that. And how you can get that, I'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Okay, to change the side plate angle with the CBN wheel. Now this is with the CBN wheel. You can loosen this knob and tilt the head just a tiny bit this way or a tiny bit this way. This is 90 degrees, okay? This is set at 90 degrees, so your wheel is straight up and down, which will give you a straight up and down at 90 degrees setting. It will give you a straight up and down side plate angle, okay, such as this. So if you want to change that and you want to get a little bit steeper and make your chain a little bit more aggressive in that aspect, just tilt it this way or this way. I know people think, oh, well, if it's all the way down, then you can't go the other way. This grinder allows me to go just a tiny bit the other way. So when you swivel it and do the other side of the chain, make sure that you go the same amount. And you can do that. You can do that with any kind of a flat edge. Okay? It's trial and success. Okay? Try it until you succeed. Not trial and error. Okay? We are going to succeed. Right? Okay. Another way you can change your side plate angle is by changing the angle on the wheel. If you have a standard wheel. This is a standard wheel. Okay? This one is set. You don't mess with this one. You only clean the CBN wheel. This one, you can change your angles. So if you want a little bit steeper side plate angle, you just make your angle on the side from center out to this outside. You just make that a little tiny bit steeper. Ed does a great video of how to get the proper angles on this wheel. So go over to Square Cutter and watch Ed's video of setting up the angles initially on a normal wheel. Okay, go check that out. I won't cover that. Ed does a fantastic job on it. But I just want to do these little setup things all in one video so people can see it close up, pause it, look at it, look at their setup and see what's different with their setup as opposed to this setup so they can make it work, right? That's why we're doing this. Okay, one thing to remember, that the right side of the chain, when you're looking at chain, right? There's a right side and a left side. This is the right side. This is the left side. Okay? So remember, the right side of the chain is done on the left side of the jig. Okay? So let's do an adjustment and turn it around so we can do the other side of the chain. Okay? So we're going to turn the chain around on the jig and we're going to do the left side of the chain. Center. We're going to loosen the knob down here. Let's get that out of the way. We don't need that right now. Okay, so then we're going to turn it. Watch this mark down here. Let me move this just a tiny bit. Let's move it this way so you can see that mark. You want this adjustment the same on both sides as well, so you get the right angle on your top plate. Okay, and then you just tighten that back down. And then you go over here. Let's move here a little bit. And then you go here, loosen that knob back there, slide it over. And now we're going to do the left side of the chain on the right side of the jig. Okay? That's pretty close. Hold everything tight. Tighten that knob. Comes down just right. And as you bring it down, you can see that the angle of my top plate is going to be the same. Okay. You can also see that it's going to make my corner correct. And good time to check, it's not going to hit the strap either. As your tooth wears down, you will need to, if you use this grinder with the tilt, you'll need to tilt it into the wheel in order to not hit the strap as the tooth itself gets smaller, because they are tapered, correct? The tooth is tapered from here down. It tapers. The tooth gets shorter, it gets smaller. It gets narrower and it gets smaller. In order to stay off the strap, you'll have to tilt. You'll have to move this and pull it up and tilt into the tooth towards the wheel in order to stay off the strap. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're into square grinding, this is a great setup. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate you, man. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort has gone into this and the CBN wheel. Go check it out. Square cutter. If you want to go straight to the website, it's squarejig.com. There'll be a link in the description. Thanks, everybody. Love y'all. Take care. Be safe. TazMan is rolling. Stay tuned.